Lastly, a lot of the work we do, we've been trying to get the data from these trials, Pfizer's data, Moderna's trial, and we know that, so much work your law firm's been doing for us. I know we keep you really busy demanding more and more release, and it's just like this white knuckle grip from the FDA that has been saying that, oh, we're going to be totally transparent as we rush ourselves into this so that the people will see what's going on. You just published an article in Substack where the title blew my mind. Here's the title. FDA asked federal judge to grant it until the year 2076 to fully release Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine data. I thought I was reading this on, The Onion or something, but is this legit? Are they legitimately, someone's attempting to basically hide this data or at least hold it back until 2076?
Yeah, that someone is the FDA.
Wow.
The work that we've done for ICANN in this arena has, leads others who have an interest in getting either data from federal health authorities or wants to litigate with federal health authorities. So, they often will come to us. In this instance, it was a group of over 30 scientists and professors from some of the most prestigious universities across our country who came and said, hey, we would like to get all of the data Pfizer submitted to the FDA that the FDA then relied upon to license the Pfizer COVID vaccine. Seems reasonable enough. The FDA has been saying for months.
It certainly seems reasonable enough in the face of now booster shots that were never talked about. Now we have Tony Fauci saying, oh, now we realize you always needed 3 shots, not 2 shots. Really, what else do you realize? Like, what is it now that's just coming to your realization that we would have had world-renowned scientists that are now working through you, had they seen this data, or could they get their hands on this data, maybe we could avoid 4th, 5th, 6th, shots, or some of the terrifying news that Geert Vanden Bosch is going to be sharing with our audience just coming up a little bit later in the show. It's really important that this be transparent, given that there was no long-term safety trial. So since we're in the middle of a crisis, we're using a totally untested product, and we need every scientist, all hands on deck. The FDA is saying, no hands on deck. No one's allowed on this ship until 2076. I mean, that seems diabolical.
Well, let's not forget that it's the FDA that's been saying all along, assured the public, they're going to be transparent. They promised transparency. And so they were able to review Pfizer's data in 108 days, right? They say they thoroughly, carefully, with meticulous detail, reviewed it. They did that in 108 days, but they now want the public to wait more than 20,000 days until they fully release that data. And until it's fully released, these scientists can't properly evaluate or vet it. And that's what we want. We want that to do it. So let me sum it up this way, if I may, Dal.
Okay?
The federal government has given immunity to Pfizer for any injuries caused by their product.
Right.
The federal government, federal government is mandating you to take their product. And at the same time, the federal government is telling you, you can't see the data that was relied upon to license this product in totality for at least another 55 years. Or at least that's what they would like a federal judge to order. You got to wonder sometimes, who's really the federal government working for? It's concerning, and I think that's the point you were making.
And just so that we have the details exactly right for the audience that's going to go out there and tell their friends about this and hopefully get them to sign up to our newsletter so they get the actual article, can read all the details. The details of this is that they're not going to hold up all of the data till 2076. They want to just sort of time release it over the next 55 years. Is that what I'm to understand?
That's right. They want to release 500 pages a month.
Okay.
So there's 300. They're saying there's over 329 pages, and they want to release 500 pages a month. The FDA has a budget that's in the tens of billions, I believe.
Yeah.
They've got tens of thousands of employees. They have said the Pfizer vaccine is the most important issue that they're going to deal with. It is the thing they're focused on the most. But apparently, when it comes to giving transparency, which they promised, they only can muster reviewing 500 pages a month.
It's almost criminal, and even more shocking that it's not Pfizer trying to hide it for all this time. It's the FDA, which leads to a lot of things that my feeling My feeling about this is the big issue in this country is not necessarily these industries that are funding our government, but the government that's taking that money and then doing the bidding for those industries versus protecting the people. I mean, clearly, these scientists have failed. This vaccine is a failure. It is failing all over the world. We're going to talk more about that coming up. And while it's failing, we could really use the help of world-renowned scientists at private schools and universities and laboratories all around the world that may have an answer to the flaws in this vaccine, and they're going to be kept from being able to help with this process by the leading government health agency in the U.S. that is now protecting this data for Pfizer against the American public. Aaron, you know, it's amazing having you out there discovering this shit. Sorry. That's a first. I've never done that before, but that's what it is.